How many of you have felt like you've hit the pause button in life and wondered why no one invented the resume button? Well, today I'll be talking about how I figured out my resume button. You'll usually hear people talk about how they want to pause. Who doesn't want to take a 3-month-long vacation? Who doesn't want an extra week off? But something that's not talked about enough is how hard it is to truly resume life. For me, my resume button was Kathak, and I've been doing it for over a decade now. For those unfamiliar with Kathak, it's one of the 8 classical dance forms of India. It combines rhythmic footwork, spins, intricate hand movements and gestures. And then there's Abhinaya, the act of conveying emotions without words. The word Kathak comes from the Sanskrit word katha, meaning story. And today, I'll be sharing my katha. Ironically, I'll be doing it through literal words rather than movements, a journey that began at Gurukul Studios under the invaluable guidance of Guru Dr. Pali Chandra. At 14, I felt my whole world turn upside down. The colors in my life fading, and the things I loved the most, dance, family, friends, they all felt so distant. Depression had completely taken over me, and I couldn't see a way out. Soon, even getting out of bed and doing everyday tasks felt like a burden. My thoughts were heavy and my energy was low. I felt disconnected from the world and myself. It was scary being so young and feeling so alone. I felt like I was constantly trapped inside a cage and there was no way out. I remember nights just staring into the ceiling and wondering, why me? Why I had to be the one to go through all of this? I lost the purpose in life. But that's when I pushed myself to continue Kathak classes. At first, it felt impossible. How could I dance when I didn't even want to get out of bed? But something magical happened when I put on my ghungroos again. This was weeks after convincing myself that I wasn't ready. But as soon as I put them on, their resonating sound, synchronized with my movements, stirred something deep within me. It wasn't just the physical act of dancing, it was the discipline, the focus, and the stories that started pulling me out of darkness. Kathak taught me to feel again. The footwork, which is precise and rhythmic, became a grounding force for my restless mind. The chakkars, or spins, gave me a sense of freedom that I hadn't felt in months. And then there's Abhinaya, where you embody emotions like love, sadness, and joy. One moment in particular stood out to me. In class, we were practicing Abhinaya, and the theme was sadness. As I started dancing, I realized that I wasn't just acting. I was letting my own feelings surface. There were tears in my eyes, and I felt a sense of relief. Kathak, as a physical activity, boosts endorphins. They're the hormone that help your mood. Kathak helps through depression with its physical, cognitive, and emotional benefits. It reduces stress by lowering the cortisol levels, it promotes mindfulness, and it also boosts your mood by increasing the amount of serotonin and dopamine in your body. It also contributes to self-esteem by improved posture and better confidence. Additionally, it helps with its spiritual and cultural elements that provide a sense of identity and purpose, contributing to emotional resilience. It also fosters social connection. But Kathak to me was something much deeper. Every beat of the tabla, every string of the sitar just required me to be present. And over time, it became more than just an art form. It became my escape. One of the most important things Kathak taught me was the art of perseverance. You don't master a dance overnight. It takes years of practice, immense patience, and countless moments of doubt. And I realized life works the same way. Healing isn't linear, and progress isn't always visible, but with consistent effort, you move forward. Another thing Kathak taught me was to embrace imperfection. It's okay if you miss a spin. It's okay if your steps are unstable. What matters is just showing up and trying. I had to fall multiple times to realize that it's okay to fall. You always get back up. Some days I felt like a graceful swan, and other days I felt like a pigeon who forgot how to fly. But that's ultimately what pushed me to be the dancer and the person I am today. Growing up, I always looked at dance as something to master. I looked at it as a syllabus. But on days where I couldn't show up for myself, Kathak truly did. I would just let music play and I would sync my movements to it. That alone helped me structure my thoughts and feel much lighter. You don't have to be a professional dancer to experience the healing power of movement. Small steps, literal or metaphorical, can lead to profound change. Let your body express what words cannot. For me, it was Kathak. For you, it can be something different. You can do karate, music, anything that brings you back to yourself. Today, at 16, I still have my ups and downs. Life is anything but smooth, and challenges continue to come my way. But Kathak gave me something incredibly important. It taught me how to dance through life's storms. I realized that it wasn't just a form of movement. It was my story, my expression, my therapy, and my way of feeling lighter when the world around me felt incredibly heavy. Depression silenced my world, but Kathak gave it a new meaning and a purpose to be. Through Kathak, I realized that life doesn't demand perfection. It's not about nailing every routine. It's not about being perfect all the time. It's about showing up, trying, falling, and laughing at the falls. Life is messy, chaotic, and unpredictable, but it's also breathtakingly beautiful. And like Kathak, it's your dance. So spin through it unapologetically and fearlessly. When I look back, I see a journey of rediscovery, one paved with tears, sweat, and countless moments of doubt. But Kathak whispered something that I hold very dear to my heart. It's not about the perfect performance. It's about the courage to keep going. And this is why I'm sharing my story with you. Not just to talk about Kathak, but to remind you of the power of expression. There is healing in putting your emotions into something bigger than yourself. There is understanding in movement, and there is light in creating when everything feels dark. So let me leave you with this. Find your medium. Find something that sets your soul free. It doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. It just has to make sense to you. Let it heal you, let it empower you, and let it remind you that even in the world's darkest moments, you have a way to rediscover light. If I could dance my way back to life, so can you. And I promise the world is waiting to see your unique and beautiful dance. Thank you.